This is why girls with autism are always forgotten about. All that's coming up. Hey guys, welcome back to the TheAspieWorld. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia, and I make weekly videos on this type of content. So if you're new around here and you'd love to learn more about that subject, then head over and hit the subscribe button by clicking that notification bell down below. And also, if you're watching over on Facebook, be sure to give this page a like and follow to see more videos just like this one. And if you're watching on Instagram, make sure to follow my profile for weekly and daily updates and videos on autism from me. Okay, all that's out of the way, guys. What's going on? Welcome back to the TheAspieWorld, the place where we think differently daily. What is up, different thinkers? Man, I love making videos and I love giving you guys gifts, which is why I have a free Autism Hacks PDF book. So if you want to download a free Autism Life Hacks PDF book from me, you can do with the card above here, on the end slate of this video, and in the description down below. And it's just cool. It's free. It's for you. I got your back, fam. Alright, guys, what's going on? I've been doing a lot of videos recently on girls on the autism spectrum because I feel like girls with autism are always like the secondary, you know, everyone always talks about boys with autism. Nobody ever really talks about girls with autism, and there are so many, like loads of my friends are girls who are on the autism spectrum. I've done loads of videos with those, and if you'd like to learn more about it, I've put the playlist in a link down below in the description of this video. But in terms of like girls on the autism spectrum and you know, not getting diagnosis or getting misdiagnosed or not even getting the appropriate help and attention that they need, oh my goodness, it's like an epidemic that like girls are 3 times less likely to be diagnosed than males, which has no relevance at all, only other than like some shocking fact. But I want to split 3 reasons why girls are probably forgotten about on the autism spectrum. I've done a video similar to this, but I thought I'd missed out some kind of information, and I wanted to do it so that I've got everything that I wanted to possibly talk to you about in this video, because let's face it, at the end of the day, I want to give you guys as much information as possible, and you're awesome, and I love you, and I'm trying to make sure that you guys don't feel alone, and you always have someone to turn to, and I have as much information as possible. So yeah, let's get into the video. Kick it. I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry, everybody. Right, so the first one here is old data. Now, most, if not all of the data that was created on autism research for autism was created for the diagnostic criteria, but based upon research that was done on males on the autism spectrum. So you got to think about this, right? When they were setting up all the details for diagnosing people with autism and what criteria could go into a diagnostic, they were looking at a model of a male's perspective and a male specific model of someone on the autism spectrum. So when you try and relate that information to a girl on the autism spectrum, it's not going to fit. Let's just be perfectly honest. You know, it's never going to fit because the brains are different. They're all different in everybody, but they're all different between males and females. That's why we have males and females. You know, they're different people. There's different things going on here. So you can't just take diagnostic that was made for males and then just smack it onto a female and if, oh, they didn't pass, so that means they haven't got autism. No, it means that the test wasn't adequate for the person you're trying to test. I mean, like, yeah, it's weird, right? You wouldn't test a giraffe on how well it can swim, right? I don't know, actually, giraffes maybe will swim really well, but you know what I mean? Compared to like a dolphin, it's not a fair test, you know? It's ridiculous. If you tested a dolphin and how good it could swim, it'd come out with 10 out of 10. Did it with a giraffe, it probably failed miserably. But that doesn't mean that the dolphin is better equipped than the... Okay, this metaphor is getting rubbish, but you know what I mean? It's like you have to have a test that's adequate for the person you're testing, right? Otherwise it just doesn't work. So, old criteria, old data, super annoying, but it's part of the problem and why girls are really forgotten about having autism right now. It's really, it frustrates me. Okay, so number 2 is different diagnostic criteria. You know, when diagnosing girls with autism, there will be a complete different criteria for diagnostics. This is like different than males, obviously, because girls will have slightly different characteristics and traits of autism than males, right? Because girls have a more independent attitude. They will try and do things a little bit differently to males on the autism spectrum, and it's a little bit more tricky to kind of spot autism in females because of this factor that the traits are a bit different. And again, it comes to the fact that all the data that everybody has been researching was all done on males. But when you're looking forward to the future, when you're looking at females, you have to always remember this is a completely clean slate. What do these behavioural characteristics tell us and what's going on here, because females will display different characteristics than males. That's just a fact of life, you know, that's what it is. Yes, there will still be social interaction issues. Yes, there will be sensory processing disorder issues, but some of the big main bulk ones will be different because there is different diagnostic criteria for males to females. Now, the National Autistic Society are rolling out courses and training to help people really understand this mass divide difference, but so far it's slow but sure at the end of the day. But it really does make a difference when we can actually understand the difference between the males and the females with their diagnostic criteria. But this is definitely one of the reasons why they're forgotten about. This is 100% the reason why they're forgotten about. Okay, so number 3 is masking. Now, masking is where an autistic woman will make a mask for their issues and their difficulties to try and fit in normal, typical social daily life, right? Even though they'll have difficulties with it, they will force themselves into situations that they don't feel comfortable in because they want to appear just like everybody else to kind of get through the day. It's a survival technique that girls will use more so than boys. As in, boys on the autism spectrum will just kind of completely be at a loss with certain situations, whereas girls on the autism spectrum will kind of develop. It's a very clever way of kind of like societal survive situations where a girl will mask their traits so that they can fit into that situation, so that they can feel safer in that situation than being ousted or being on the outside of that situation, which is just completely bonkers that we even have to do this. But social pressure, peer pressure, all these things kind of come in and they crash down, right? So because of this, when you're trying to diagnose a girl on the autism spectrum who may be displaying, you know, a masking kind of characteristic at that moment in time, you're fighting a losing battle, and the doctors are fighting a losing battle because they don't know what they're looking at, because they haven't really thought, well, this girl could be masking. Is this some, you know, they have to be clever about it, and that diagnostic criteria for females has to be thought about cleverly. It has to be something new. It has to be something that we haven't really, you know, done before, because you have to always change and evolve with the pros and the cons here. Now, this is shocking, and it is probably one of the main reasons why girls are often missed off diagnosis or forgotten about as being part of the autism spectrum. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it happens, and girls are on the autism spectrum, so we need to be looking at it differently. We need to be looking for resources. We need to be looking at new, updated resources, and things like the National Autistic Society and people like that, just actually trying their best to make sure that everybody is not forgotten about, and everyone's kind of like put into giving a fair opportunity and a fair chance of actually being diagnosed. Because there's so many females right now who are just struggling day to day with daily life and not getting a diagnosis because of these 3 factors and a bunch of others that are not their fault. It's not their fault, and I just wish that like we could just change it instantly, you know, and get everybody back together. But in terms of yeah, in terms of that, you know, we're still fighting a battle here, but doing stuff like this is super awesome. Now, if you think that this video could change somebody's life and help them, please share it on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also, if you are new around here, please give it a subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.